So we control the whole design process, and by that we can control manufacturing and assembly, and by doing that we can actually bring the price down, like long term. For the past few years, Off-Grid Europe have been working on a detailed strategic plan to bring renewable energy and employment, and today I'm going to take you through the steps involved in this plan. Step 1. Establish a company fully specialized in off-grid energy systems. And why off-grid power? Well, apart from the obvious social and environmental benefits, we do this because this space is tough. The technical challenges are huge. That means that other companies will have difficulty entering, just like us, and it means that this market just isn't saturated. That gives room for small players like us to enter. Step 2. Build our own product range, designed specifically for our markets. So that means hardware that survives sand, heat and sun. It means hardware that is easy to install and maintain. It doesn't look this way, right? But the reason this is happening is because we're trying to make the board indestructible. Something failed with that, and then it basically shorted out the main copper. So it's nothing to do with really the main operation. It's a new feature we added that didn't work out. So obviously dead. But the thing is, like, why did it blow up? It blew up because these guys are instructed to blow up stuff, and you blew this up while you were trying to short it out, right? So it blew up for a strange reason, but nevertheless he managed to blow up, and that's the whole point of this, because we're trying to make sure these things don't blow up. So actually I'm quite happy with this result. Well done for blowing up a device. And by controlling the product design, we can keep driving prices down while improving performance for the people that we're serving. And right now, this product range includes the Ohms Box, which is a very advanced BESS system. It includes Much Cooler, which is a gigantic hall where you have storage of produce in, like vegetables, potatoes, that sort of thing. And the solar home system, which is a little box like this that you can use to power up your house when you have absolutely no other way to get electricity.
One of the really older versions of the product, ignore the color because that's the only filament we had for 3D printing. And so that's like a heat sink over here, because we know that things heat up, electronics heat up, and even the battery cells heat up during the time when they're charged or discharged heavily, and we need some air cooling mechanism. We cannot have a fan because we are targeting IP65 rating. So we needed something that is waterproof but still cools the system, and then that's one of the most important parts of our system.
And of course all this is run on the IoTim energy platform, which is the off-grid controller.
IoTim is our energy management platform, and it provides you with data of your energy system. So you will, for example, see how the batteries are charging and decharging. You will see how much kilowatt peak of solar PV are currently produced, how much you consume, and there's a lot of interesting information you can basically get from such a system.
Step 3. Set up offices in Europe, China and Africa. This gives us control over quality, direct input for hardware, software iterations and cost reductions. And we've already made big progress. Manufacturing and operation in Senegal and Zambia, plus our new Off-Grid Europe office in China, which we're calling Off-Grid China.
We are, of course, trying to empower the EU. China's already made a lot of progress in battery and EV systems, and by doing this they are way more faster than their competitors in EU. They are way more reliable, I can say, and the cost is very competitive. So even though we still exploring different suppliers in Eastern Europe or in Europe generally, we also rely on the best in markets, so the best players, and it's not a question of EU or China, but it's the main idea is we want a supplier who's competitive, who's fast, who's know exactly what they are doing, and that was the main idea behind what we are doing now.
Step 4. Establish financial tools like export finance. That means loans underwritten by national credit agencies to fund projects from 1 million up to even hundreds of millions of euros. So we call this nation building. It's about employment, education, food and energy security, and of course, a fair transfer of wealth.
So you can see it behind me, the Ohms Box is being assembled. If a little off camera to my right, they're doing the electricals. That being the case, it being manufactured, designed, engineered in Germany allows us to use some of the financial opportunities that Germany as a country gives us. So one of them is the export financing possibility. Together we can now go to Africa, where we then have off-grid Africa. Together with them we can now offer a cheaper, faster delivery through off-grid China, the financing, the German design, the German engineering through off-grid Europe, and the installation and the know-how in Africa through off-grid Africa. So bring all that together, that's kind of the business plan that we have here that we believe is something that the customers will appreciate and bring that across.
When we build equity in a country against some debt, when this debt is paid off after, shall we say, a 5-7 year period, that debt is gone and the equity remains. That is a fantastic transfer of wealth. Step 5, bring in investors who are real partners, not sharks. Partners who don't want to hijack or impose their tech, but who want to share the vision and stick with the game plan. With something this complex, if you have conflicting interests, you're going to kill the project. So alignment is absolutely essential. So laying this foundation, it took years. We had to create products, software, we had to set up offices, we had to build very elaborate networks where we got to know a lot of really influential people, and none of this has been easy for us, but there's big news that with our new China office up and running, we can now reduce the prices by 25% across pretty much our product range. That's the Ohms Box, solar home system, and much cooler. And we're now running with what we call the 50-30-20 framework. So that means 50% China content, 30% EU content, and 20% Africa content. This set of increases assembly and manufacturing in Africa, while harnessing the manufacturing power of China, and creates a job and skills transfer from Europe to Africa. So most importantly, it builds real equity in the client countries, it creates durable hardware on the ground, while increasing local expertise and of course long-term competitiveness. In all honesty, this road has been quite rough. Christian and I, we've been working relentlessly for years to push this forward, and there have been plenty of times where it felt impossible. Plenty of people told us that we're going to fail, it was too risky, that we couldn't trust the process. But the learning curve has been extraordinary. In the end, of course, it has paid off and it really has worked the way we were planning it to do so. And honestly, it feels like we're just getting started. Scaling from here will be exponential. So thank you for your support and see you somewhere near an energy plant.